Body cameras are used by thousands of police officers, agencies around the nation. The Syracuse Police Department has been using body cameras for several years. And now the Onondaga County Sheriff's Department received its first shipment of body cameras to go in the field soon. Our Jonathan Singh spoke with Sheriff Eugene Conway on why it took so long.
Sheriff Conway tells me that body cameras is something that he has considered since 2017. He tells me that the funding was not there and neither was the credibility of the equipment. The Onondaga County Sheriff's Department now has about 100 body cameras. They say that's enough to equip about 98% of patrol deputies. Sheriff Eugene Conway says supply and demand was a reason for the delay. Pricing was an issue too. It costs over $100,000 a year to maintain the equipment.
I've always been a little bit cautious as to any piece of technology to kind of have it evolve a little bit and have perhaps the price come down and have the quality get better, have the bugs worked out of it.
It's a piece of equipment that some believe is long overdue for the Sheriff's Department. They were criticized for not having them back in March of 2021 when deputies shot and killed a 17-year-old in DeWitt. It turned out the teen's suspected weapon was a BB gun, and the Attorney General found their actions justified. Sheriff Conway says the cameras will be an extra pair of eyes that protects both law enforcement and civilians.
It helps us show our accountability, our transparency in dealing with the public. And obviously it will also show the public how we act when we deal with people as well. So it's a two-way street.
Sheriff Conway says he would like to see the county provide more money so that every deputy that interacts with the public is equipped with a body camera. The county says they would be happy to assist with more body cameras once that request is put forward in the upcoming budget.
There have been law enforcement professionals that did not act professional, but we've also seen situations where there are very tense situations where it looked like the law enforcement officer may have done something wrong, but they didn't. And the body camera is what told the story. So we think this is a win-win for everybody.
Sheriff Conway did mention that his staff is currently being trained on how to properly use the body cameras.
Well, they're the people we trust with our children day in, day out, and some say they're just plain tired. Good evening, I'm Matt Mulcahy.
And I'm Megan Coleman. As summer break begins this week, a new Gallup poll suggests it's teachers who need a break more than anyone. Nearly half reporting they are feeling burned out than any other worker in America. In tonight's Crisis in the Classroom report, our Amanda Hull asks if this could lead to a teacher shortage in the years to come. Amanda?
Matt, Megan, the teachers union says they expect over 80,000 teachers to retire in the next 5 years, and that alone could create a potentially dangerous shortage of teachers. And with them having taught through the COVID-19 pandemic, this leads to a potential looming of a crisis in the classroom. As districts struggled to cover classrooms when teachers were infected with COVID-19, teachers took on more work, but it wasn't just about teamwork.
Like, what can we take off of their shoulders to make it a better experience? Well, I think one of the things is the paperwork that needs to be done now that many years ago, it wasn't a big part of teaching, was all of the bureaucratic work.
After an influx of teachers around 30 years ago, that same group is now on the verge of retirement. The New York Union of Teachers estimates that about 87,000 teachers will retire in the next 5 years.
I think professions across the board, police, fire, nurses, including teachers, so many people are feeling the effects of these last couple of years. So yes, there will be a lot of people retiring.
The union estimates that 180,000 teachers will need to be hired over the next decade to maintain current teacher-to-staff ratios. But after the pandemic, hiring teachers, as with any profession, is even harder to do.
They want respect. They want to feel supported, right? Thanked for the work they do every day. So we go back to each and every day, there's a new challenge in schools, right? So anxiety, stress. But these last couple of years have really put a lot of people over the top. So what they're looking for is support.
And while pay has always been a big factor for anyone taking a job, the union president says it's come down to more than just the money.
Pay is always going to be a big factor. People have to live. They want to live well. It is, I think, more of the stress, the anxiety of being in the schools. That is what's really hurting the recruitment.
And the union president says that they do have programs in place to try to recruit younger people to become teachers to try to drive up those recruitment numbers.